yes, you had me. Pooping has a category on its own because what do babies do? They basically sleep, eat, poop, and repeat. So let's get right into it. Hello, if you're watching this channel, you are looking to get inspiration or gather ideas on how to shop for your baby on a budget and go as minimalist as possible. And most importantly, to know the basic and essential things you need for your baby. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 things you would be needing for your baby. We'll be categorizing these things into food, sleeping, clothing, safety, pooping, and body care. Oh yes, you heard me. Pooping has a category on its own because what do babies do? They basically sleep, eat, poop, and repeat. So let's get right into it. In no particular order, I'm going to start with feeding. For feeding, I'll be speaking based off of my experience. I am a mother of 2. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old. And I have been blessed to be able to breastfeed our 6-month-old and our 3-year-old. So when it comes to feeding, it is solely on my experience, which is breastfeeding. So what would you be needing for breastfeeding? You'll be needing your boobs, which is taken care of. Yes, obviously. And then you'll be needing feeding bottles if you're considering expressing your milk so that other persons can get involved with the bonding and feeding of your baby, because mamas, you need as much help as you can get, and please be open to accept it. So you'll be needing feeding bottles. So I'll say get 2 feeding bottles, right? One will be in the wash, and then you won't have one available to use for your baby. And then going on, since you were talking feeding bottles, that will imply that you're considering expressing your milk. For expressing your milk, you'll be needing a breast pump. After a breast pump, next to a breast pump, you'll be needing freezing bag. This freezing bag will help you store your breast milk for when you're not directly available to breastfeed your baby is still able to get breast milk. And then you need hacker, not just to collect letdown, but sometimes your breast is so gorged that you want to get an instant relief. And if you have a breast pump, before you start, fixing all the machines and all you just need to do is put on the hacker, make sure it's suctioned well, nicely on your breast, and before you know, and then you go squeeze like this, and then you're able to relieve yourself and gather breast milk for your baby. And sometimes you're so filled and then you need to relieve yourself, and then your baby is hungry. If you have one baby, there's so much your baby can do at the same time. So your baby can be on one breast, and then the hacker is on the other breast. Trust me, I've been able to get almost a full bottle of what we call letdown from just having the hacker on one breast and while the baby was sucking on the other breast. This is how game changing the hacker is. So please get a hacker. And then if for some reasons you're afraid that your hacker is not suctioned well and then it will fall off, because it happens when the grip between your skin and the suctioning, effect of the hacker is not holding on, there's a hack you can do with putting a rubber band around the tip of your hacker and then hooking the rubber band on your breast strap. And trust me, it will not fall. I will try my best to see if I can do a short video, showing the hack on how to get your hacker hooked up on your bra so it doesn't have to fall. So we have covered hacker, we have covered breast pump, and then you need nipple pads. Nipple pad is very important because when you're dressed up and then you have to go somewhere, even if you're at home, the breast leaks. These nipple pads are very important to help you catch those droplets and then prevent the whole staining off of your clothes and all, and especially at night too, because sometimes you get to have some leakage at night. Nipple pads is always very important. There's a disposable nipple pad and then there's the reusable one, so it's up to you to figure out what is best for you. Next on the list, we'll be talking about bedside water and bedside cookies. Mama, I know we're focusing on what the baby needs, but because the baby needs your breast, you need your strength and you need to be able to generate milk. You need your bedside cookies because you will be hungry. You know those nighttime feeding. Hunger is real. So please make arrangement or write down on your list bedside cookies and bedside water, because you will be dehydrated and you'll be hungry. And I'm sure for some pregnant mamas watching this right now, this is already familiar to you. You know, those midnight hunger, those midnight thirsty that is almost never ending. Well, it continues for some time, especially when you're breastfeeding. You're going to be hungry and then you're going to be thirsty. So make conscious preparation for bedside cookies and bedside water. I think we've covered up feeding, which is basically breastfeeding. Oh, by the way, I'm looking to make a whole video on its own based on breastfeeding. So hopefully I'm going to do that, and then we'll get into more details about breastfeeding. The next on our category will be clothing. I feel like clothing is quite, it's quite dicey because it's is wide, I would say. But however, the most important things you need that will not fail you, come rain, come sunshine, are onesies. Yes, onesies. So you go for the short sleeve onesies, the long sleeve onesies, and the singlet looking onesies. They will never fail you, because with the onesies you can pair with trousers, you can pair with shorts, you can pair with leggings, especially the leggings with the footies. You need that. Why I like leggings with the footies is because that way you are not bothered so much about socks. You know those cute tiny little socks, in as much as they are so cute, they get missing a lot. Now I'm not saying you shouldn't have socks in your list. You need some socks, but please try to add leggings with footies. It's always a game changer. And then depending on your your geography or your location, and then how it goes with the weather or when your baby is coming, you will be needing a winter jacket, cap, mittens, depending on where you are. Apart from warm mittens, you will need the general conventional mittens, especially when the newborn babies are here. And sometimes they want to nibble, scratch themselves, and their fingernails are very sharp. So you need mittens for some time, and then once they're strong enough, and then you're able to clip their nails, you can let the mittens go. So you'll be needing that. You'll be needing slippers, but let's leave the slippers for the sleeping category. However, sometimes you can throw in slippers, and then they are comfortable, you're comfortable, and you're both, especially when you're both at home, right? So you'll be needing these categories of clothes. And please, when you're getting your onesies and your overall, try as much as possible to be intentional about going for the zippers and the clip-on buttons. Not those complicated buttons, the clip-on ones. Those are game changers and time saving, and you don't want to go through stress trying to dress up a little baby and spending most time trying to put in the buttons. I really don't know why people still make that kind of dresses for babies. Adding to the categories of clothes, right? Let me talk about bibs. You need bibs, especially if you will be blessed with a drooling baby. Our baby started drooling, say, at 3 months, and is still drooling now. So just ensure to have, like, say, 2 or 3 pack of bibs and have it ready, because between 3 months to, say, 6 months and moving forward, you will be needing bibs. Bob clothes, oh, gather as much bob clothes as you can, but don't go excess. Just gather as, say, 5 or 6 bob clothes are very, very, very practical and important for you. So you'll be needing more bob clothes. You'll be needing the muslin clothes, the 100% cotton light clothes. You'll be needing them for when you want to bob the baby. You put it nicely on your shoulder, and then that way you can nicely bob your baby. So you'll be needing, say, 2 or 3 of that, and it's always very, very practical. You can put it anywhere. If you want to lay your baby on the couch by your side, you can always lay that. So there's like the extra large and the medium. So maybe you get about 2 or 3 of that, but you need your muslin clothes. Make sure you get your muslin clothes, mamas. You will be needing them. And bob clothes, you will be needing that. So I hope we're able to cover the basics when it comes to clothing for your baby. Now let's move right on to sleep. For sleep, you'll be needing swaddle. Based off of my experience, you'll be needing swaddle. You'll be needing slippers. Now, let's talk about swaddle for some time. For swaddle, we enjoyed swaddle because You know how the baby is still coming out from the womb, and then they're always used to being in like a confined, huggish, positioning. Yeah, so they enjoy that at night. So with the swaddle, it just helps to keep the baby in one form, especially at night, and it's always so cute and fun. Well, swaddle is so cute, warm, and fun until say after the first month, and then going on 2 months, especially for our babies. Yes, because our first baby did that, and this one also did that at 2 months. They were already getting around the swaddle. Sometimes you have especially the velcro swaddle. I'm talking about the velcro swaddle. They're already getting the hands out or getting the feet out, and then very active babies, they get to rotate. So imagine rotating in a confined position. At that point we knew that that was not, you know comfortable anymore or even safe, and so we graduated from the swaddle to the sleep sack. And trust me, sleep sacks, or sleep bags as some people call it, is another game changer. So please throw in some sleep bags, say 2 pieces of sleep bags into your list. So let's say 2 swaddles, 2 sleep bags, because you'll be needing sleep bags, and sleep bags are here to stay. Our 3-year-old still uses sleep bags because she enjoys it. Our 6 months old uses sleep bags because, I mean, it's the best and it's the only option right now we have, especially because it's a very active baby and you don't want loose clothes or loose blanket or cover clothes, around your baby. It is not safe. So sleep bags are the best. So say from say 3 months or 4 months, depending on the need of your baby, on how your baby is coping, you can switch to sleep bags. But for the sleep bags, now you would know how to regulate depending on the temperature in your house or your space. You will know how to regulate how to dress your babies in the sleep bags. So for some time, like for us, when the weather is very hot, we do the sleeveless onesie and a sleep bag. But when it's cold, we go long sleeve and a trouser, long sleeve onesie, a trouser, and a sleep bag. Just go with the dynamics of your environment and the temperature in your space or in your home. That is very important. So that's for sleep bags. Slippers, or what I call overalls, is another very useful one. And in addition to the sleeping category, you'll be needing a light night lamp. Now, this night lamp has worked so much for us because, first off, postpartum anxiety is real. You know that feeling where you just want to be checking up on your baby. You want to go and be checking if your baby is breathing and is the it's natural and your feelings are valid. So you need your night lamp to be able to successfully do that and have a peace of mind. So these night lamps are mild lamps that is made to, be functional at night. It doesn't give up the very bright light or, attacking light. So if you put it on, in front of your baby wouldn't be squinting because the light is not, bright or attacking on your baby's face. So you need that, and we're able to get the one we have is the one that has a timer for say 30 minutes. So if for some reason I forget putting it off, after using it, it goes off at 30 minutes. So maybe you look into that. But however, night lamp is very important. But night lamp that is suitable for the baby is very, very important. You'll be needing that. And then talking about sleeping space, say bed, crib, or co-sleeper. We started off with a co-sleeper. So you know that co-sleeping, those beds that you attach close to your baby. Those beds that you attach to your bed, and then you're able to have access to the baby, and then the baby sleeping close to you. That is what we used. So we used a co-sleeper for the first 3 or 4 months, about 4 months. And then when we realized that our baby was already getting too big for the co-sleeper, it was moving so actively, and it was clear that the co-sleeper was already too small for him. He wasn't having enough space to express and move around. We had to now move him over to his crib. So that is how we did it. And then, we had to move to his crib. You notice I did not mention sound machine, right? Well, that's because based off my experience, for both kids, we didn't need sound machine, or what you call the white noise machine, right? But if you think you'll be needing it, since we're talking minimalism, right, you can either try to take advantage of your thrifting store or Facebook Marketplace to see if you could get a good deal for second new ones. You could take advantage of apps or YouTube, because you could get most of this sound on apps on your phone or YouTube. So you get an advantage of that and save yourself some bucks. So that'll be that for sleeping. So the next category will be poop. Now, talking about poop, what do you need? Diapers. So it could either be the reusable diaper or the disposable diaper. We are using the disposable type diaper. And please ensure that you don't just stock off with on one size or lots of one size. Try to go one size at a time so you don't end up having sizes that you wouldn't be finding useful. Because remember, babies grow very fast and they move to the next size before you know it. So you'll be needing your diaper, you'll be needing your wipes, you will be needing your nappy cream. So nappy cream will be dependent on what you think is best for you, for your baby. It could be Vaseline, it could be a nappy cream. What I use is pseudo cream or Vaseline. Yes, that's what I use, and that's what has been working for us so far. So good. The next thing you'll be needing is a changing mat or a changing space. And usually most changing mats are waterproof, and then you'll be getting like a changing mat cover, right? However, let me tell you, a game changer, especially in my situation where I hardly change them as much as expected in their changing space. So, for example, our baby, I change our baby more on the couch than on the changing mat. So, what has been my savior? This. You see this? This is a game changer. This is what it is, a dog pad. What do? All you just need to do is lay this in the surface, where you intend to change your baby on, and then you can either put, say, a fabric on it if you're not comfortable with laying your baby directly on it, which, well, I do, and it's been good. Lay your baby on it, change. That way you're able to catch any accidents or emergency releases, and and then you're able to curtail or avoid all the stains, poo stains, pee stains. So this changing pad, dog pad, has been a game changer. So I would advise you to add it to your list. And then another thing I would advise you to add would be this. So these are called fragrance nappy bags, right? That is what it's called here. They are less than €1 or so based off on my currency. So what they are, they're like this, and they're fragrance. And what I use this for is when you have all those very blasting poo with very strong smell, and say you are out somewhere, instead of you to just, and then you're thinking of where to throw the diaper, or even in the car, and you need to throw those kind of poo, those kind of very strong pools, right? You could just throw the diaper in this bag, and then when you get a place where it's convenient to throw off the diaper, you throw it. So my point is, this will save you from having a smelly car or a smelly space, or your diaper bag being smelly. You get. So I advise you to get that, because that has been working for us. And I'll advise you to do is to get a toilet bag, or I don't know what you call it, but we call it, or I call it toilet bag. That's what I know it to be, and this is what I mean. Something like this. So you know what I do with this toilet bag? Instead of creating like a full dramatic changing station in another space, okay, based off of my environment, the baby's room is upstairs. I spend most times with the baby downstairs. So what I do, instead of having like a trolley full of baby changing things, I just have a toilet bag, and I put in my toilet bag diaper, wipes, pseudo cream, Vaseline, doggy pad, scented bags, and you're good to go. So with this bag, it's always also very, very practical to throw it into your shopping bag or into the car when you're going out and you don't want to carry the whole diaper bag shebang. This has been very, very practical. So you should also look into getting something like that. You notice I did not talk about wipe warmer. That's because you don't need it. You don't. That's my experience. You don't need a wipe warmer. So you don't need that. Or I didn't have a need for that. And remember, this is our second baby, and I don't think I'll be having a need for that in future. Interesting thing that has been very useful for me is this. You see this? Yeah, it is what it looks like. It is. This is called a pea catcher, right? You can buy them online and all, but I was lucky enough to have my mother-in-law make this for us. So when the baby is peeing, especially for boys, their pee is always this direction, and if you're not careful, you're either catching it in your mouth or in your face. So when you're changing and then they're all active, you can just put this on your baby's manhood or your baby's boyhood in this case, and then it catches the pee or contains everything, and then you don't have all those escapes. So yes, maybe you want to try to make this, try out your hands on some DIY, but girl, boy, or mama, papa, you need your Pikachu. Everything that has to do with the point category. The next category will be the safety category. So safety is very, very, very important. When we're talking safety, we're talking things like car seats. You need your car seats. So even if you have you experienced a home birth, you had your baby at home, you would at one point have to take your baby out for the routine appointments, to church, to a meeting, or to work. So you need a car seat, which is very important. Now, this is where you get to take good advantage of your Facebook Marketplace or your thrift store. If you are looking to go full on brand new, it's car seats, no compromise. Please do what's comfortable for you. When it comes to safety, you just have to you have to go full on, but well, full on a budget. So we're saying car seat, you need baby wearer. But when I say need, based off on what you think works for you. For me, baby wearers is very practical for us because my husband wears the baby, and then when the baby was younger, say between 2 to 4 months, and then we had to move around. Sometimes we wear the baby. However, once the baby started hitting 5 months and now 6 months, what I do is I just put the baby on the back, the African style, which I just put the baby on the back and I have free hands. But baby wearer is always very, useful and practical, if I may say so myself. I personally would prefer baby wearer to a stroller. But if your movements, your activity has to do like with short distance, or it's more practical, to have a stroller, by all means do so. You can always have a stroller. But one thing with stroller is you don't necessarily need stroller just immediately. So if for now you only have a car seat, that's fine. If you have a stroller and you see a need for a stroller, by all means, please, get yourself a stroller. So you need your car seat, you need your stroller, you need your baby wearer. Another thing that has been a game changer for us is the baby bouncer. So this the baby bouncer, it's like, it's very, 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 it's very flexible. When I mean flexible, you could put it on the ground, you could put it on the bed, you could take it with you to the bathroom, you could even put it on your dining. What I do most times is put it on the dining table. If I have to walk or when I have to cook, I put it on the dining table. So that way you have your baby watching you. Sometimes they just want to feel involved in your activity, or they just want to have close proximity with you. So if you don't want to always wear the baby, which can be overwhelming sometimes, you can, try out the baby bouncer. And the thing with the baby bouncer, when you have an active baby and then they move, it bounces the baby, and then the baby get the idea that, oh, if I bounce, I get this reaction, and then they try it out. That is when they are, say, more active. But when they are, say 3-4 months, it is very practical, because even if they don't have that neck control, you can put it in the lying position, or you could put it on the sitting position when they are old enough, right? Our 6 months old baby has a good neck control, so he's using it on the upright position. However, it is very useful because you can put it with your countertop, on the table, or anywhere you want your baby to be nicely proximate to you. Another thing, once you hit the 6 months mark, or 5 months going on 6 months mark, will be high chair. You'll be needing a high chair because this is when you'll be considering introducing solid food to your baby, right? And then you want your baby to be sitting upright to eat. You need a high chair. So high chair is also relative to your style and what you want, or what you think work for you. But yes, you should also look into getting high chair and ensure that the high chair is good enough, complete set with the strap and all, because like I said, safety is very important. You notice that I didn't talk about walker. You don't need a walker, but experience. Just let the body figure it out and do its thing. So you don't really need a baby walker. Another thing that didn't work for us, even though we bought it for our first baby, was a baby swing. Our baby didn't like it. She legit stayed on that swing for like 10 seconds and that was it. So we had to sell it off on Facebook Marketplace. So swing didn't work for us. If you think you want to try it out, fine, you can. But if I'm to advise you, I'd rather you go for a bouncer, a baby chair bouncer than a swing. So swing did not work for us. Movement, yes, a baby mat is good, right? You need a baby mat. But at a point, you know those mat that has all those things, those gym mats and all. At one point, my baby started pulling the gym mat. So right now, he just lays on a normal floor mat without anything over him because he pulls it out. And talking about that, sometimes the crib, the crib mobile, um, the music mobile that you put over a crib, right? I'm going to attach a picture. When our baby was clocking, first of all, our baby really didn't use it. The whole music and all. Our baby didn't use it. And then at a point when from 5 months, he started pulling it down. So it was more like we didn't find a need for it. So we had to sell it off also on Facebook Marketplace. So these are things that we did not see need for. So if you're going on a budget, most of these things are really not necessary and your baby will be just fine. Next category will be body care. So body care, I'm talking baths, bathing your baby. So what do you need? You need the baby's bathtub. You need the normal. For us now, just the baby's bathtub. So most bathtub come with the baby insert. And then as they grow older, you have to hold them in the bath and wash them. Some people wash them in sinks and all, but we use the bathtub, right? So you need a bathtub, you need a bucket. Sometimes most of these bathing things come in a set, so you could look out for what works for you, what is affordable and what is practical for you. So you need a bath, you need your body lotions. I would advise you, please, whatever you're getting for your baby, especially at tender ages, you do not need any perfumed lotion, you do not need any serious baby, no, you don't need all that. Baby oil without perfume is perfect, and with the baby oil you can use on your baby's hair, so you don't even need a special hair cream and all, because especially for cradle cap, what worked for me for our baby's cradle cap was his baby oil. So no perfume baby oil works perfect. You can throw in a baby lotion because sometimes the weather is too hot and you think oil will be too warm for the baby, then that is when your lotion comes in. But make sure it is not scented because you don't need all those harsh extra dramatic fragrance and materials or chemicals on your baby's skin. Try to go as safe and as minimal as possible. Don't get pressured by a lot of adverts you see on Facebook, but at the same time on the internet, but at the same time listen to your baby and work with what you think works best for your baby and what your baby needs. But for basic, for starter pack, you need non-scented baby oil, non-scented baby lotion, and you need soap, baby soap. You really don't need, based off of my experience, you don't need like baby shampoo and conditioner. Maybe with time, or if you have a baby that has a very full hair, but you don't need that. You can use the same soap, baby soap, for the hair and all the body. So all that, you can cut down on all those extra shabang. Another thing I know you need is the manicure pedicure set. That set that comes with the nail clippers, nose sock and all. There's a set that comes like that. You need that. For our first baby, we didn't have a need for a nose sucker, but because our baby was born in January, where the weather here is cold and all, we got a serious need for a nose sucker. So you'll be needing a nose sucker, or you want to have that in your list just in case. You never know when you need it. But if you want to go the African style, if you know what I mean, if you're comfortable with that, but I had my fears and concerns, so we had to just opt for the nose, the nose sucker. So that's also another thing you'll be needing. For the clipping, I didn't do the whole, baby nail trimmer because I found it very scary. I just did the not conventional clipping. But I waited. That is where the meeting comes in. You wait for maybe when you can hold the baby's fingers good enough, or when their fingers is beginning to gather some strength to be able to clip the fingers. So yes, for the first few weeks, say 2 weeks, you might have to be putting mittens on them as much as possible to prevent them from scratching themselves. And then when their nails has gathered some volume, you can start using the nail clippers. That is what I use. But if you're more comfortable with the trimming, the nail trimmers, by all means do what you find best for you. So basically, thing we'll be adding to the list, even though it's not in the safety list per se, would be teethers. Yes, because at the point where your baby starts eating, some babies start eating as early as 4 months, while some baby goes say 5-6 months. Our baby started eating at late 5 months, and so teeter has been something that has been very, very useful to him. However, you want to add it to your list, and it's better to have it and not need it at the time than need it and not have it at the time. So you'll be needing your teeter. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I just remembered, you need your thermometer. Yes. So sometimes, when in doubt and when you see a need to, you need to temperature your baby. So you need your thermometer, you need alcohol, to be able to use to clean the thermometer very well after use and all. So you need your thermometer. However, I know that most hospitals would have given you this list or prepared you or given you a list, if you're having a hospital bath. And even if you're having a home bath, your dweller or your nurse would have also given you this list. But just in case, you are trying to gather these things on your own, you need a thermometer as well. So I hope I've been able to cover up the 6 essential things you need for your baby. And the whole idea is to go as minimalist as possible and to shop on a budget. So make good use of your thrift stores, make good use of Facebook Marketplace especially. And at the end of the day, if you cannot buy some things at a time, for example, you don't need a high chair when your baby is 3 months old. Just take it easy, go with time, everything will work out fine. And above all, you've got this mama. And for the mama who are already holding their cute babies in their hands, or papa who are holding their cute babies in their hands, you've got this, you're capable, and you're doing great. Thank you for watching once again. So I hope you have been able to gather at least 1 or 2 or even 3 things or ideas or inspiration that you can, add to your list that is very practical for you. And by the way, if you're watching to this point, I just wanted to let you know that this is officially my first YouTube video. So this is the point where I would ask you to please subscribe. And it feels quite interesting that I get to finally say, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my YouTube videos. And then you can share. Who knows, one mama or the other will see, a tip or 2, or it just might be something a mama would want to see. And for other mamas watching out there, or papas as well watching out there, if I would have missed off one idea or one advice or one hack that you can share with the community, please by all means do so. I'll be appreciating that, and I'll be in the comment section to answer your questions or respond to your ideas. And is there any video you want me to make or talk about based off of my experience? I'll be happy to share. And like I said, I'll be working towards making a video on breastfeeding and my experience so far. So thank you once again. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you find it very useful. Till next time, bye for now. Yours truly, Princess.